Okay, so we've got our output sent to the main. So what should then happen is if we were to hit play on this, it should play through the mains, but we haven't mapped any of our buttons, so we have all these areas that need to be connected. You see the little question marks here and along there that need to be actually connected, and so they're going to be connected to our first strip, which is the click track. Before we do that, I want to click into the Playback plugin itself just to kind of take a look around in there, because we're going to need to make sure our settings are correct there. Again, if you've gone through the Mainstage tutorial, you kind of know about the Playback plugin, so I'm not going to go into too much detail, but just a couple things that are important about Playback is that each channel strip loads an individual instance of Playback, just like this one here. This is the click track. You can kind of see it with the visual transients that you see there. What we need to make sure is that all of these playback tracks are linked together to play, so that when one fires off, it fires off all of them. That's how we get multi-track across multiple channel strips. Right now it won't do that because they're not grouped, so we need to actually set the right settings for each channel strip. If I hold down this link button over here and if I were to switch channel strips, you see that this screen actually updates to the playback instance on that channel strip. If I undo this link button, if I were to switch, it stays on the instance from the track I first selected. So you want to make sure that that's linked first off, so that when you make that change, it actually updates the screen. First thing we need to change on all of the instances of Playback is the snap to function. We want to make sure that we set that to marker. Now what that basically does is that if you're in playback of a particular song and you hit a marker point for another part of the song, the snap portion it'll jump to that marker point once it's done with the current section. So if you're in the chorus and you want to jump to the bridge, at the end of the chorus, if you punch the bridge, assuming that it's later on in the song, it'll jump from the chorus past anything straight to the bridge at the end of that section. So you want to make sure that all of your instances are set to that. Plus we want to assign a group over here in the group. This is what groups different playback instances together, so that if you fire off one playback instance, any other playback instance that has that same group will also play at the same time and stop, so they'll remain in sync. So I usually assign the group letter to whatever the first letter of the song is. So this is You Never Let Go. I'm going to set this to group Y. And subsequently, every track down, I'm gonna set the snap to. It's hard to get that visible. I'm going to set the snap to marker and the group to Y. And again, just going down the list. Y. And we have a lot of tracks to do this for, so okay, I think we're about done. Okay, so one more. Okay. So now let's go back to this first one, and provided that we've done everything right, which I think we have, if I were to hit playback on this first one, so now as you can see all of our tracks are in sync and they're running. Okay, you're not hearing it because it's actually set to my ears. So let's let me just set this output to display audio so you can hear that. Okay, apply changes. So again, let's try that one more time. So if we hit playback here,
You never let go.
Intro.
so we're basically looking at the click track here, but it's actually playing all the tracks from all of these individual channel strips. So now if I click the guide, so now we're looking at the guide.
Verse.
1, 2, 3, right? So if I click on this, there's nothing on that track. Let's see, let's keep going down. So we got the shaker. So they're all in sync now because of that group setting. So pretty cool, everything's working like it should. So now we're done with that portion. Let's go ahead and, now would be a good time to go ahead and do a save.